how to do the splits, but on the floor. You obviously want to warm up your body first, so you can do whatever it takes for you to warm up. Do some jumping jacks, go for a run. I personally do a handstand for a minute to get that heart racing. You can even take a hot shower. I don't know the names of these stretches, but it works. Ideally, you want to get your heel as close to your body as possible. But if not, you can, not do it as close as possible. But if you can, do it, and you can lean down forward. Ideally, you should hold it for like 30 seconds. If you can't hold it for 30 seconds, then don't hold it for 30 seconds. Get out of it. Don't hurt yourself. This is your hips being unsquared. You don't want to do that. So square your hips, but make sure your knees are facing the floor. In the same stretch, bring your back leg up and then hold it like this. This is a killer quad stretch. You're gonna feel like you're gone. Make sure to stretch both sides. You can hug your leg like this if you can and bring it as close to your body as possible for that killer quad stretch. This is another great stretch. You gotta bring one of your legs up like that and put it against your other knee. And then you're gonna use your hands to help stretch your other leg. You're gonna pull on your knee back like this. And make sure that your leg is turned out so that you can actually get the stretch in, because if you turn it in, you're not gonna stretch anything. So yeah, do both sides, and here's what it looks like from the side angle. Yeah. Alright, time for a great hamstring stretch. Make sure that you're actually sitting up with the back leg right there. If you flex your feet, you'll get that deep stretch on your calves. You can alternate flexing and pointing your feet to get that calf stretch. Now if you can, you want to try to put your hands down. At first you might not be able to, but eventually you'll be able to put your hands down like this. And then with more stretching, you'll be able to put your palms down like that. That's the final level. There's always a modified version for those less inflexible. Just don't use the chair, just use the ground. And then lean forward to get that hamstring stretch. But eventually if that's too easy, you can use the chair. Alright, time for a lunge. Like, you know how to do a lunge, right? Make sure your knees isn't going too forward. You want to make it parallel with your ankles, or else you'll break your knees in the future when you get old. Like, you're probably already old, but make sure you always keep your back leg straight and try to bring your knees to the ground. Eventually, you want to turn out your front leg like that and put your elbows on the floor. This will stretch out your hips. And then keep doing with the back leg. Bring your knees to the floor. As you can see, you're on your back now. You're going to grab your feet, not your ankle, but your feet for that better grip. A way better grip. With your other hand, you're gonna have it on your knees, and you're gonna pull your leg up while having your other hand on your knees, and you're gonna straighten your legs with your knees. It just helps straighten it. You should be straightening your leg with your leg muscles, but your hand just helps with it. Make sure your back leg is actually straight and not bent, because you're not gonna get a stretch in. You're just wasting your time. So yeah, make sure you hold it for like 30 seconds or until you can't. You don't need to hold it for exactly the time, And then after all that, you're gonna attempt the splits. Now you're gonna slowly slide down and go as far as you can. Let's say this is what you look like. This is as far as you can go. Ideally, the minimum amount of time you should hold it is 30 seconds. I would hold it for much longer until I felt like I couldn't. But I would never exceed 1 minute, because anything longer than 1 minute is just eh. To actually get your splits, you're going to have to push yourself a little bit further than what you can do in order to achieve your splits. You should never feel pain when stretching. It should only be uncomfortable. So if you feel like a sudden sharp pain, you should probably get out of whatever stretch you're in and take a break. Never do this. This is your hips being unsquared. You want to make sure your back leg, the knee is on the ground, touching, and then your front knee is facing up in the air. You can put your left hand on the front leg and the right hand on the back leg for your right splits to make sure you're squared. If you're unsquared, you'll fall out of your splits like this. So put your hands up, and if you are squared, you should be able to balance like this. And then if you're not squared, you'll fall sideways. Once you get a consistent, solid split, you can use something high and elevated like this to do your splits. And then eventually, doing it on the ground will be easy peasy. Now you can do the splits anywhere and everywhere. And then a group of random strangers dressed in Spider-Man costumes will ask to take a pic with you. Here's all the stretches that we did today. Now you may have questions like, oh, how long will it take to get the splits? For me, I couldn't touch my toes when I started, so it took me 6 months just to get the splits. But that was an uncomfortable split. Like, I was crying. I couldn't hold it longer than a minute. But now I can sleep in it, but don't actually sleep in it. Good luck. How many days a week should I stretch? Personally, I stretch 6 days a week and had like 1 rest day. Day 1, I would stretch as deep as I can go, like as far as I can. So then on day 2, you would do lighter stretches instead of going all the way. Day 3, you stretch a little bit more deeper and then the cycle continues. What if I only stretch 1 day a week? Well, you're not gonna get your splits. You gotta stay consistent or all your progress will be for nothing. Good luck.